There's no way Legends fumbles part 2, right? Hello everyone, Zainosaki here, and in this video I will be sharing with you all my theories for part 2 of Dragon Ball Legends 7th anniversary. At the start of part 1, Legends called this celebration a super anniversary. What could that mean? For this celebration, the word super could have two different meanings. The first are in terms of the definition of the word super, which is summed up as high grade or in high quality. And with that, some people would have said legends have already failed, but that leads us into the second meaning. And for that, look no further than this image right here. Does it look familiar? It's the cover art for Sparking Zero. My theory is that all these characters in this picture will be a part of the 7th anniversary. Which leads me to my reasoning for this. They all represent Dragon Ball Super in one way or another. Look no further than Goku and Vegeta, who will represent all of Dragon Ball Super since they're in every major arc. And then we go down with Frieza, who is representing Resurrection F and Tournament of Power. Then we also have Jiren, who is the final boss of Super of sorts, with them being the last fighter in the Tournament of Power. Trunks will represent the future Trunks arc or the Goku Black arc. Broly can either represent all of the Super movies or just his movie alone. And if we look at it that way, there are two arcs still missing, with representation for the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 arc, and representation for the Dragon Ball superhero movie. And now let me explain why I believe everybody is going to line up in this celebration. Starting off with Goku and Vegeta, they have the easiest one, since they were the headlining Part 1 units of the celebration. Now on to Frieza. I believe his representation was the free-to-play unit we got before the anniversary, or it could be looked at as the other half of the Go Frieza unique equipment. And for Jiren, I believe his representation was the free-to-play unit we got before Part 2 started. And if you think about it, we already received representation for U6 versus U7 with Ultra Hits Platinum equipment. Now that leaves Broly and Trunks and somebody to represent superhero. Before I get to the characters, these aren't all characters I think that will be coming out in part 2, but throughout the entire celebration. And I also believe that we will see other characters besides these people in the rest of the anniversary. Now let's take a look at the characters I have predicted for part 2 of the anniversary. And as you can see, we're immediately going in with the superhero representation. But not only that, we have a fusing Super Gogeta. And let's start off with that superhero representation. As you can see, I not only have an orange Piccolo, but a Beast Gohan. First, I want to start with the Platinum equipment or unique equipment for Gohan. As we all know, this is Gohan Ball Legends. They will do anything to put Gohan in an anniversary, and what better way to save it right now than to bring the first version of Beast Gohan we got in this game. And since Dragon Ball Superhero's release, Legends has dropped a Beast Gohan every year. And I don't think they're going to stop just because they dropped the Ultra last year. And on top of that, Legends dropped a teaser where they had almost every canonical fight in Dragon Ball. And it ended with Beast Gohan versus UI Goku. Which, spoiler alert, is something that only has happened in the manga, which means Legends is showing us they know what's coming next, or they're hyping us up for what's on the way. And to add fuel to the fire, this year we received a new summon animation where Goku teams up with Gohan and UI and Beast respectively to beat Cell Max. Legends has given us already 2 examples of them bringing UI and Beast Gohan together. Now I don't think that UI, Tag Beast, or any other new version of Beast Gohan will be coming out, but instead I believe that Legends will give this old Beast Gohan a unique equipment. And what could be more super than having a really good UI Goku and a really good Beast Gohan playable at the same time for fans to enjoy? Plus, we know that Legends love to be the first to the newest things. For example, the superhero movie and Daima. This could be their way of doing pseudo-manga content, just like Xenoverse 2 did a couple months ago by giving Vegeta their own version of Ultra Ego. And now, to get into the headlining units for Part 2. My first pick is a Synchro Gauge fusing Super Gogeta from the Fusion Reborn movie. I think this is a good place to start because Legends could use Synchro Gauge to ease our way into Part 2 by giving us a mechanic we haven't seen in over a year now. Plus, Dragon Ball Z Gogeta is a hype character that is underused in Dragon Ball Legends. He only has one Legends Limited that came out almost 2 years ago, and that is why he is my prime pick for the part 2 of this celebration. And as you can see, I will make him a tag character that is element red and a melee type character, and he'll have tag switch, a synchro gauge, he'll cover change blast cards as Goku and Vegeta, and cover change strike and blast cards as Gogeta. And when he fuses into Gogeta, he'll have a release type gauge. And for my choice of Orange Piccolo, he's also a character that's underutilized in this game with only one Legends Limited, also from 2 years ago, and he has a reviving mechanic. So you don't even play as Orange Piccolo the whole time. And this is also a good choice because it would pair nicely with the unique equipment that I'm predicting they're going to give Beast Gohan. With Orange Piccolo, I will have him bringing back an old mechanic and also bringing in a new mechanic as well. And as you can see, he will be a standalone Orange Piccolo, range type element purple. He'll start with a time gauge, and he cover changes all forward moving cards. He'll have endurance, and when his time gauge is full, it'll turn into an attack gauge, similar to the Ultimate Gohan we got last year. And now for the new mechanic. I'm calling it Defeated Ally Counter. This mechanic would work almost like Blue Tien from the Buu Saga's Rising Rush / his support action, but instead of it being for a Rising Rush, it'll work one time for your team's first defeated ally. The animation could be Piccolo when he saved Gamma 2 from being crushed by Cell Max, but Piccolo could be saving the ally that's been defeated. When Piccolo does this, the defeated ally comes back with 30% health. Now, this actually isn't the end of the video because I have 2 more ideas that Legends could do for the part 2 headliners. I'll take a look at this. As you can see, the second character I will have is a Legends Limited Broly. And not just any Broly, but a transforming Broly. This Broly will start off in his wrathful form with a defensive gauge, and he will also have the comeback mechanic. And once that comeback mechanic activates, his animation will play for him to become a Super Saiyan, and then he will show a new mechanic called Terrain Destruction. And with Terrain Destruction, after his comeback activates, he destroys the map and gets a new gauge, an attack type gauge, to continue his rampage. Plus, he'll nullify endurance after coming back. And I will make him element green, a melee type, and he cover changes strikes. Take a look at this image. It's for the Legends information that will reveal the part 2 characters. Now take a look at the background. Isn't it similar to the ink style that Legends use to promote their Ultra characters? And it says big news right at the beginning. What's bigger than starting part 2 off with an Ultra to make up for the underwhelming start to this anniversary? Now I will show y'all my third and final idea for part 2. Let's start with the unique equip. It's for the first Legends Limited Blue Gogeta who fought Broly to go alongside with his Zenkai he received 5 months ago to bring him back up to the forefront of the player pool. Now it's time to take a look at my pick for the Ultra. Full Power Broly. Broly is a character that deserves an Ultra. The last time Super Broly has gotten a premium summonable character was in December of 2020. That's almost 5 years ago. He's overdue for a new Legends Limited or Ultra. That's why I have him for 2 characters in my Legends Limited and my Ultra slot. And now it's time for the breakdown for Ultra Broly. He'll bring 2 new mechanics to the game, with him countering armor break cards, meaning his strike armor cancels armor break card. But this will only apply to him, so it can't be given to his teammates. Broly will also have a domain. It will work similar to Beast Gohan's active gauge or his special beam cannon. So it will charge up over time, and when it's ready, an animation will play with Broly clashing with your opponent's unit, creating the Shattered Dimension. The Dimension's effect will increase Broly's damage and his defense, will increase his allies' damage, and Broly will draw an ultimate card, and his gauge will fill and activate no switching for himself and remove enemies vanish when the first time it activates. Broly will also weaken Indestructible by lessening the amount of health the enemy has after Indestructible is used. He'll also nullify auto counters and evade actions, just like the Legends Limited Green Transforming Vegeta we got for part 1 of the 2024 Legends Fest. And I would be giving him a release gauge like Ultra Perfect Cell. And I know he sounds broken, but he is way overdue for a good character. So I wouldn't mind if we got Majin Vegeta Part 2. And with that, this concludes my theory for Part 2 of the 7th anniversary. And if you remember that checklist from earlier, there's one character missing from my super theory. But don't worry, I didn't forget about him. Just stay tuned for the Part 3 theory. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more.